Her name echoes through history as a symbol of power, beauty, and seduction. Cleopatra VII, the last queen of Egypt, was a woman who defied the odds, commanded empires, and won the hearts of Rome's greatest leaders. But her reign ended in tragedy and mystery. In 30 BC, with her kingdom on the brink of collapse and surrounded by Roman forces, Cleopatra made a fateful decision. Was it an act of love, a calculated escape from humiliation, or a desperate move to control her own destiny? The circumstances surrounding Cleopatra's death have puzzled historians for centuries. Did she truly die from the bite of an asp, as legend claims, or was there a more sinister plot at play? Today, we unravel the final moments of Cleopatra's life, a story filled with intrigue, betrayal, and a queen's ultimate gamble. The tale of Cleopatra's death is one of history's greatest mysteries. Join us as we journey back to ancient Egypt to uncover the truth behind the queen's final, defiant act. In the year 30 BC, the last pharaoh of Egypt met a tragic and mysterious end. Cleopatra VII, the legendary queen, whose beauty and cunning influenced the fate of empires, would take her final breath in her palace. Was it a heroic act of defiance or a desperate escape from defeat? The death of Cleopatra remains one of the most captivating mysteries of the ancient world. Cleopatra was not just a queen, she was a political mastermind. Born in 69 BC into the Ptolemaic dynasty, she ascended the throne at just 18 years old. But her kingdom was crumbling, plagued by internal strife and the looming threat of Roman expansion. Cleopatra knew she needed powerful allies. Her first gamble was with Julius Caesar, the most powerful man in Rome. Their alliance was more than political. It became a love affair that shocked the ancient world. Cleopatra bore him a son, cementing her place in the power dynamics of the time. But the tides of fate were not kind. In 44 BC, Caesar was assassinated. Cleopatra was left vulnerable, her influence slipping as Rome descended into chaos. With Caesar gone, Cleopatra's next bet was on Mark Antony, one of Rome's most powerful generals. Their meeting was legendary. Cleopatra, dressed as the goddess Isis, enchanted Antony with her charm and wit. The two became lovers, and together they sought to control the eastern Mediterranean. The partnership was not just romantic, but strategic. Antony and Cleopatra dreamed of an empire that could rival Rome itself. But this union would set them on a collision course with Rome's new leader, Octavian, Caesar's adopted heir. In 31 BC, the dream of an Eastern empire shattered at the Battle of Actium. Antony and Cleopatra's forces were defeated by Octavian's navy. The lovers fled back to Egypt, but their defeat had sealed their fate. Surrounded by Octavian's armies, Antony and Cleopatra were trapped. In a moment of despair, Antony heard false news that Cleopatra had taken her own life. Distraught, he fell on his sword. As he lay dying, Cleopatra held him one last time. Antony's death marked the end of their love story, but for Cleopatra, the final act was yet to come. Octavian's forces stormed the palace, but Cleopatra had one final card to play. Determined not to be paraded as a trophy in a Roman triumph, she chose her own fate. According to ancient writers, Cleopatra arranged for a basket of figs to be brought to her, concealing an asper venomous snake. As the legend goes, she took the serpent and pressed it to her chest, allowing it to bite her. Cleopatra died in her chambers, alongside her devoted handmaidens. It was a death befitting a queen, calculated, dignified, and tragic. But did Cleopatra really die from a snake bite? Modern historians debate the accuracy of this tale. Some suggest she may have used a toxic ointment or poison instead. The true cause of her death remains shrouded in mystery, just like the queen herself. Whatever the method, Cleopatra's death marked the end of an era. Egypt fell to Rome, and the Ptolemaic dynasty came to an end. But Cleopatra's legacy lived on her intelligence, political prowess, and tragic end have made her one of the most enduring figures of history. Cleopatra remains a symbol of power, beauty, and defiance. Her life was a series of high-stakes gambles, but her death was her final and perhaps greatest act. She chose to end her story on her own terms, leaving the world to wonder, was it love, ambition, or something else that drove Cleopatra's final decision? The queen is gone, but her legend lives on, whispering through the sands of Egypt and echoing across the centuries. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more mysteries of the past.